Hi, welcome to Table Talk. I'm Shelly and this is
Robin.
And we're glad to be here today. So I guess we'll just jump right in and kind of
show
show what we've been working on.
Okay, so I have been continuing to work on my Christmas. I have a few more of these left, so just trying to get it done so I can get out of the way and do some other stuff. So that'll be good.
You're ahead for this year.
Right? Well, I think we're going to do it in Christmas in July.
That'll be fun.
Shocking!
You finished.
I finished the whole thing even. I don't even know which way this goes. So
that's wherever it wants to go.
That's a little stressful. The bow's a little stressful for me. But anyway, I was so excited. I got it all done. It's my cute little typography from Sandy. Let's say, here's the cute pattern. Upside down. See, I felt pretty good. You can't judge my hot gluing skills.
I wasn't even looking at it.
No one's gonna see that at top, right? So I'm excited, right? I'm ahead of the game. So
that's awesome.
That's what I have, and then I've been working, which just happened to be kind of on our topic today, but not anyway. I have had this kit forever. It's that Wonky Love that Sandy
her wall
did
hangings.
her cute.
Yeah.
And so I on Sunday night got this all together. So
this is fabric. What do you call it?
This one we call it Wonky Love.
But like the heat and bond.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you can
fusible.
Fusible. There you go. You can either machine or hand, and I will hand stitch this. So that's ready.
That's awesome.
And done. So I was excited. So that's what I've been working on. Oh, and I have one other fun thing to show because I told you last time I would. My cute little Afghan that my daughter made me for Christmas. Isn't that so pretty?
She knows you.
So, yeah, right? Pink and sparkle. Isn't that beautiful?
That is fun.
So I was just so excited when I got this. So I just wanted to show it off.
Where are you going to put this in your house?
In my front room with all my cute pink quilts.
Are you all geared up for Valentine's?
Yes,
decor?
I love Valentine's. It's all pink and cute and red and fun and girly. I don't know if you know that, but I'm a little girly. I didn't used to be, but
just a little.
The older I get, the more I like pink. I hated pink as a kid. Hated it. So
pink's not my favorite, but I'll roll with it if I have to.
Right, for Valentine's?
Right. Really? Okay. So some of the things I've been working on is that we have these table toppers that Riley Blake did last year. And so this is the one that I am going with. So this is what the star looks like. So you make 9 of those and I'll make the little table topper with some sashing in it. So there is that. So we're going to have those are available. And that's the pattern. I don't know if that will help so she can see it better. And then this year they're doing a pillow. And I don't know, have we talked about the pillows on Table Talk yet? So anyway, this one is actually January, so this month's.
So you sew for April. In January. Yeah,
so January would be. So this is the one I've gotten started. I've got it all cut out here in my little bag. See, this is how I store my projects. And I just have all my pieces cut out and ready to go. So when I have my time to sew, but this will be the one for January. So we have these available as well. Although I'm not sure if this one has come in yet. I think we're still waiting on this one to come in. So maybe by the time this airs, hopefully we'll have them in. So that's one that we've started, that we'll be starting this year. And then this is a Valentine's banner that I put together. You can't look at the ends because I didn't have enough fabric, so I got to add some more stuff. But this is just a little piece of it. The banner that we have. This is from J. Recker Frisch. Hopefully we're saying her name right. But this is the rest of it. This one's kind of long, so I don't know. I might have to hold. But this one says love. I don't know if we can get all that in there, but love's in the middle of that one.
That's a fun little Valentine's.
So we have this is a panel, and we didn't have one cut off the bolt, so that's why I don't have it here. But if I just took the panel and I sent it to our quilter and had her quilt the panel with the backing, and then I cut it all out. And then you get like a yard of whatever fabric you want for your binding, because you have to do it on the bias so you can get this point right, because if you don't do it on the bias, it won't lay flat.
Yeah.
So you do that, and yeah, so that's why you have to have so much, because you're cutting on the bias. And it does take, I didn't get enough. That's why I have these short little ends on these. So I made it so I could add some more to it and make it a little longer if you wanted. Little tails on the end.
That'd be fun to hang
So there's that one, and I've been busy the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, she's making up for some of it.
Yeah, and I did show this block last week, but I don't know. This is like my favorite right now, so I'm gonna show it again. But I love this. This is Dutch Days, and so that is that block, and I am working on that. And that is actually, I don't know if you remember, but it was in this book.
Yeah, that's a great book.
So anyway, this is from a Riley Blake line. I believe it was called My Girl, or Baby Girl, or something like that. So it's a panel, and all you have to do is add those borders and make the stars for the corners.
Oh, that's adorable.
So that will be something that we'll have. Yeah, I'll get that to the quilter, and that will be something fun that we'll have in the store. So that's just fast and easy. It took about half a day for me. You know, lots of people say, well, for me, that would take me 2 days. But this is really not that hard to do.
So when you put this together, did you just find some pattern for this? I guess.
Yeah, Riley Blake had a pattern for it. And so I just followed their pattern.
Okay. Even better.
Yep, so it made it easy.
That's nice when you can take a simple pad, you know, the panel, and then add something. But then you can still feel like you can use it, you know.
Right.
Because if you piece a lot of it.
Like, I will probably cut all this up just to make pillows.
Make pillows. That would be cute to do with it too. You could buy 2 panels, make your quilt, and then have your panels, you know, your pillows to match it.
That'd be really
so that will be fun there.
That's adorable.
Yeah. So this one.
Here's your cowboy.
Oh my! Yeah, this is our John Wayne one that we did. We just have this fabric, and we said we got to make something with this.
Right.
So this is called, the pattern is a Villa Rosa card, and it's called Sassafras.
Sassafras?
Sassafras.
That sounds perfect for this.
And so it is just so simple and easy. You can use just squares in a 4-patch, and then you put them together.
And if you have like a busy fabric, this is a great when you have a bigger piece.
Right, then you can highlight some of your bigger.
That's really cute, Shell.
Theme. So we'll have that one in here for your John Wayne favorite people. They might enjoy that.
Oh, I have some people in my life that would like a John Wayne.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not going to make them.
I know, really.
They'll never say that, so we're good. See?
I knew some people that would have liked it.
Well, now maybe you can gift it to someone.
I know.
Right?
And this one, I've had, I don't know if I've ever shown this one on tabletop blocks or not.
No.
But this one's made out of buttercup and slate.
Oh, that's
and sorry, I have my clips on it from my binding so I can get the binding done. But
that's fun.
There is that one.
Man, it looks like it has so many little squares.
And then there,
it's because they do.
This one it's called a strip piecing. So you sew the pieces together like long 4 or 5 of the pieces, and you subcut it into your.
So you're not working with that little square.
With that little square.
Working a little bit
longer.
And
this one, this block here, I used the foundation papers.
Oh yeah.
For the square and the square. So we'll have those available in the store too. So if you want to use those, you can do that.
This is really springy and really fun.
What is this quilt called? Our kit.
This quilt is called.
The back is.
Now I can get. Hold on. Let me get the book.
Hold, please.
All right. It's in this book right here. Simply Half Yards by It So Emma, and the pattern is called Medley.
Medley.
So that's what the pattern is. And then as far as quilting,
see you're
putting the strips together that you cut and sew them together and subcutting. So
2 colors, like the picture has many more colors. So that shows you that you can simplify. If color freaks you out, you can just pick 2 colors.
Yeah. Oh,
and then and then this is for those who like a little more.
Yeah, I mean, you got different fabrics, but you only have grays and yellows. So.
Yeah.
Make the layout maybe just a little bit. You've got to figure out, okay, can't put too much gray here, can't put too much yellow there or whatever. I try to separate it up a bit. So.
Right. But it looks great.
So there's that one, and that one will be ready too. So, and I think that's all of mine that I've been working on.
She has a mess on the floor.
Yeah, it's a good thing you can't see what's next to us.
Right.
So anyway.
I'm going to jump in and then just talk about what we have new here.
Cute new stuff.
I don't know where I should stand up because I cannot see myself. But I'll just stand.
You want to come behind us or between us or whatever?
So, I don't know about you guys, but like I like these wrist pin cushion because you can just wear it on your wrist.
Right.
I kind of grow up with this kind, but I think these is the magnet ones that you probably just lay on your table and then you can
chuck your pins
just throw on. Hopefully it.
Yeah.
Or when you spill them on the floor, you can pick them up.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I've done that.
Done that many times.
I have that.
Yes, I have.
Too many times.
Something. And this is.
She must be neater than us.
She must be.
And it's like if I drop one pin, I have to find it at the moment.
Yeah.
Because it scares me when I don't find it.
Because your foot will surely find it.
Yes, for sure.
So,
for sure.
Every time.
Yep.
This is what I forgot the name. I remember just a minute ago. I think it's called Explore Nature.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're just some cute collection.
But yeah, look at how fun.
Look how pretty that is.
Yeah,
I love all those big florals.
This can make a fun. Okay,
that's
our next project. What are we gonna make out of this?
I know. This when I was growing up, this was more like a mauve. Yeah.
Oh.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
So
with
that's
rose.
Considered pink.
Yes.
You betcha.
Yes.
So yeah, those are our new things.
Awesome.
Those are pretty because I love the teals and the light blues, and it's just kind of muted.
My favorite too are the magnetic, the wrist things.
Sometimes
not so
they
much
still poke your hand if they don't have that base, right?
So I made a pin cushion back when I would pin quilts, and I put the hard plastic underneath.
Oh yeah, that's what I have too.
It wouldn't. Yeah.
Like mine was because I like it because you can just move around in your room with it. You don't have to grab it everywhere. The magnet one.
Well, you know, like me, I have one at my sewing machine. I have one at the end of my table of my sewing machine. I have one at my cutting table. So you gotta have more than one. You gotta have
everywhere. So you need like
just like your rotary cutters. You gotta have them in every spot, so you're not worrying about where it is.
And then if you do anything by hand and you use pins, then you need one by your chair.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I learned something.
Gotta have them everywhere.
That's probably why we keep having them.
It's like your glasses, your readers. You know, you gotta have a pair for every station. My kids were making fun of me at Christmas.
And now you have to have one by your bedside. That if you need to see your phone, you gotta pull them out. Because you don't want to send that oops text that you didn't, that you couldn't
wasn't
see.
Sure.
What was that word?
Oh my!
Especially with autofill, you know, you never know.
My kids were making fun of me when they were home for Christmas because I had somebody. I have like 3 pair on my nightstand for some reason right now, and then I have one on my sewing machine. I have one on my cutting table. I have one downstairs by my laptop, and then I have like a couple pair in my kitchen. They're going, how many pairs of glasses do you? I need a lot,
right? Because one at work, one in your purse, one everywhere. But then you can't get attached to one pair because then that's hard to keep track of one.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's hard enough when you have prescriptions to keep track of those.
Have you seen my glasses?
Then I'm gonna have to get there soon. So
because Robin mentioned last week. I think you throw Shelly under this bus.
Sure
That's
did.
why you're on the bus with her.
Yep, I'm right here with her.
See, under the bus.
I'd not just throw you under the bus. I go with you. See what kind of friend I am?
Oh, that's good. So
I don't leave you stranded.
You said that Shelly's good at English paper piecing, and we do have a couple questions. We don't really have a lot, but I think that's good because we don't really have a lot of things to do that either, but we have something that can help you. Right. So we have you today to answer a couple of these questions, but I will let you go through however your style is, and then
however our style is.
Yeah, like what do you think we should mention first?
Well, you can tell us what
the questions are. Okay, so the questions we receive from them are, how do you sew the blocks together? How do you attach it with the background fabric? Another one is I started doing English paper piecing, and then I tried to sew the hexagon together. I got befuddled. Is that the word?
Befuddled. So confused, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she got.
So she's probably a little confused.
Yeah.
Like she needs a little bit of slow tutorial of how to connect them together. And then I see you're very prepared.
Yes.
Hey, so speaking of readers,
of glasses,
because you gotta go
stronger.
I need to get the new ones, but
yes.
But until then, anyway. Okay, so we'll just kind of go through like how you start and all that.
And I see you both have these ones for doing English paper.
Yeah, so maybe just kind of, maybe we should like some of the tools, you know, like this cutting mat, because when you lay down your fabric and you put your papers on top of it, actually you have a template that you would use. Let's see, this is not going to be a hexagon template, but I can show you a template. And see, I just have all these fun little things, but like here's a square template.
And the nice thing about
when you lay your fabric down,
here's the fabric.
And then you're gonna lay that on there, and then you're just gonna cut, but you can turn the mat, cut, and then cut, or whatever that way. So that's how you can do that with your template.
Right, the nice thing about the templates is that you can see, that way you can fussy cut. So like when I was making these, I couldn't really fussy cut. I just had to guess where I wanted it to be. But when you have the template, which is so nice, then you can fussy cut your pieces and get them where you want them.
This project I have, this is it's called Quattro Color. And this one we had, let's see, how long we've been in this building? Probably 6,
well, we did this
years?
since I was, well, I've been working here 6 and you had been in a couple years.
Okay, so we've probably been in this building. So we probably started this maybe before we came over. So this is like a 10-year project. And as you can see.
That's kind of what English paper piecing is.
But that's kind of what I use the templates for, because then I could say, oh, look, I like, you know, the circles, or if I'm working with the stripe or whatever, I can make sure they kind of match and go the same direction. So when you're looking through the templates, that's how that works.
Oh, okay.
So that's how that works. And you know, and then I just use, just like Robin was saying, I just use my little binding clips to hold the pieces together that I've chosen. So those ones will go together and make a block on there. And so that's how I keep that together. And then sometimes with the papers, I don't know if you can see that. See how I punched a hole in it?
Yeah.
You punched a hole in that, and that's going to help it so when you're ready to take your papers out, you can grab a hold of your paper easier with your scissors or whatever you want to use to
take. Super nice.
Yeah. And then thread and glue and an extra glue stick.
So when you
have one in here. Extra glue stick and then your needles, basically.
What's the size of the needle?
So I use Sue Daly's needles, and these are a size, these ones are 15. I do not use a 15. I use probably a 10 or an 11.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
11. There's just a little bit smaller needle, and I love those needles, even though they have a tendency to bend, but they kind of bend to the way you're sewing, and so it makes it easier to hold on to the needle.
And just because they bend does not mean that you need to not use that needle.
Right.
Keep using it. It works fabulous curved.
Yes, exactly. I mean, just kind of the way you sew.
Now, when you break it, then get a new one. But other than that, keep using it.
Yeah.
It's still a good piece.
Okay.
So anyway, those are just some of the supplies. And then the thread, we don't change colors.
Nope. We use
the same thread. This is by Bottom Line, and it's $6.52.
And you can see, I even use it as a pin cushion. Got holes in the end, so
we need to get her some more. But that thread just kind of blends in with any color that you use.
Even the darks.
Even the darks. You don't even have to use any other color. So it works
which
really
is kind of nice to not have to change. You can just keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
So is that a hand quilting thread, or what kind of thread is it?
No, I don't know if it's a hand quilting, but
I have some. It says for bobbin quilting and applique. Now I have used some on my machine quilting just because it's a super. I mean, that's really fine. It's a really nice fine thread. So that's why it's nice for like your applique and
And I find with that thread too, you don't want too long of a piece.
No.
You just kind of keep it short, just, you know, enough to maybe do one side or whatever you're working on, and then get another, maybe two sides. But
because even when you do have a long piece, and you by the time you get to the end, you want a new thread. Because it's like all knot up and get yucky. So.
Yeah, but it's really nice to mix with your fabrics and stuff. So that's why.
Okay. So I will tell you, I made my own papers because this is Sandy's pattern. Okay, so I traced the little hexie. Cut out my own paper. I used cardstock. And then you place it on your fabric. And then that's when you're going to cut your 1/4 inch around. That's why a template's nice.
The template,
because most of the templates include your
1/4
seam
inch
allowance.
Yeah.
And so this is, and then you get your handy dandy glue stick. And I like to do my glue on the side so it kind of keeps a point. So you're just going to run your glue along there. You don't want to get it close to the edge. And then use your fingers and just keep going.
Okay.
And that's how you're gonna glue these down.
Wait, can I change it to the top side?
I went ahead and did this one while we weren't.
So do you really care about the corner, how they're laid?
You mostly just want it, so you're not gonna see it when you stitch it. So it doesn't, when you have a bunch, you wanna kind of make them go not together. You know what I mean? Because when you have your point, anyway, you'll get the feel of it. Anyway, does that make sense? No. When you have
a lot of corners.
Yeah, you just like, see how I'm making them all go the same way? That's what you want to do, so that it keeps it kind of, like you want to think about it just like when you're quilting and you have, you're ironing your seams, because this is basically what you're doing, right?
So you glue it.
Okay, we got it all glued. Looks like that, and then we'll turn it over and it'll be all pretty. See? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, then you are going to, there's 2 different ways that you can sew them together. So this is one way where you line those up like that. And then this is where those little quilting clips come in handy. So you can clip those right together. And where did I set my needle? It's right here. And then tie your little knot. And then what I like to do is come up under here on the corner so my knot is hidden. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're gonna just, all it is like a whip stitch. So you're just gonna take and make a couple stitches right here to reinforce that. And that's what's kind of fun about this, is because you don't have to really worry. And then you're just gonna sit here and take teeny little bites.
And you're just trying to catch the fabric.
You don't
really trying to catch, you're not sewing the paper in.
No, and that paper kind of keeps you where you need to be. So you're just gonna grab the fabric. That's why you don't want to glue the edge of your fabric. Is because you don't want that glue to mess with your stitches. That makes sense?
Like you cannot feel.
Yeah, and you can kind of feel if you went too far, your needle won't go through.
Yeah.
Kind of holds you back.
Man, now I understand why it's a 10-year project.
Yeah, see? So that's,
well, people who, do that, well, they can.
You get it pretty, like, like last night, I hadn't done it for a while, and I sat down and look, I sewed these 2 together. Oh, wait, those aren't the 2.
These 2 maybe?
Oh, over here, these 2. See, and like, you can't really see my stitches, which is kind of fun. But I have a friend that says she wants you to see the stitches because she wants you to know she hand-pieced that. So she doesn't care for stitches showing up. And then there's this other way, and I don't know if this is really, doesn't show your seams any better. You know what I mean? But basically you're gonna put 2 pieces of fabric together like this. And that's where your little tape comes in handy.
That's where Shelly talked about.
Yeah, that's why she had tape in her bin.
Then I had tape in my bin, and I couldn't remember why it was there.
Right.
And we were talking about it yesterday. It's like, That's why my tape's in my bin.
And then this stitch, you basically are doing the same thing. I think for beginners, the other way is a little better. But then you just still grab those little pieces. This way you're not supposed to see the stitches as much. But I'm feeling like I did a pretty good job on that one.
Mm-hmm. The last one was a whip stitch.
Yeah, and this is called a flat back stitch.
Oh, okay.
And then you're still just, you know, when you get more pieces, it kind of gets a little...
Pretty much the same thing, except
you're still whipping the stitches. But I think this one just forces your stitches to be on the back.
Yeah.
More so than...
Right. Then maybe
on
if you
that
got
edge.
too far on the edge or whatever.
Right. And I think when you, like this might lay a little flatter, but if you don't pull those stitches and make it so tight, you know, that it's going to work out. So, and then, I don't know where my other blocks went. These, oh, you have them.
Right
so
here.
Then,
so I'm just wondering, I know in one of those questions is like when you start getting to like something like this, then how would you sew that together?
So first you're gonna.
I mean, it's kind of be the same thing,
right?
So you're sewing, but then when you get to that side, you got to open this up, and then probably flip it back that way.
And
but then it's sewn together here,
and it gets a little bendy. And don't be afraid to move your. And that's why,
it's hard to explain.
And that's why you want to make sure, there's one that's, is it floppy? Yeah, right here.
Yeah. Okay.
So see how this is sewn together like this? And I did the whip stitch, and you can kind of see my stitches, but
so you would just kind of maybe do the whole inside hexagon first, and then come back and do these.
And then you just, when you're connecting these, so see how your paper is going to bend? And then that's where those clippies are great, because they kind of help hold them in place. And then it doesn't matter if this bends or flexes or whatever. But when you're starting, you're always going to want to do a couple stitches in the same spot to hold those down really well. Because you don't want it to come apart. And let's be real, those teeny tiny stitches, that's not going anywhere. You know? But anyway, so that's, don't be afraid to move those pieces. And then when you're finished, you had a question about what to put them on,
how to put the back, I guess, how to put the back on?
Put it on the background?
On the background,
So when you get finished, you're going to want to press this really well. Make sure you get it all nice and flat, okay? And that's when you're going to pull out your paper, your thing. So some people use like a wooden pencil thing. You just go along here. Wooden pencil, like an awl. There we go.
Yeah.
And
or
just
a stiletto.
Or your fingernails or something.
Or you know what works really great too is I have a chopstick.
Oh.
And the chopstick has a beveled edge, and I use that too.
Yeah, and so that's when I'm not going to take mine out because I haven't pressed
So that might be kind of handy where if she would have punched the hole in those, then you could grab that
and then
pull it out. Yeah.
So then we'll just pretend that this is the background I'm going to use because I just grabbed a piece of fabric at home. Quick. So you could, you know, put these on your fabric any way you want. You know, decide. Because I figured if I did it like this, then I can decide whatever size I want. Because I just used charm squares. I put like 2 or 3 of her charm packs together that were from different lines. So anyway, so you could put this on here. You could top stitch with your machine if you wanted. Do a little zigzag or whatever. Okay. Or you could, which I will do, just hand applique. So that's just your little whip stitch.
Whip stitch again.
Basically, hide, you know, and this thread is going to hide it really well. I mean, look at how beautiful it blends with the fabrics.
So when you take that paper out, on the edge, do you still glue it a little bit before you...
No, because you've pressed it really well.
It's flat.
It's going to be nice and flat, and as long as you don't...
And once you take the papers out, you could press it again, just to make sure that your seams, you know, stay down.
Would you like me to take one out to show you?
Sure. Okay. If you would like.
Well, if that makes you feel...
That makes me feel like I'm more clear. Because I feel like I don't understand what's going on yet.
Right. So you're just going to... These been on here for a while. Of course, I picked the homespun.
Yes, you did.
I picked the one that might fray a little.
Oh, oops.
And I'm like, mine have been there forever too.
So they
10 years.
Yeah. So
I guess the good thing about English paper piecing is you can do it with any shapes.
Because
we do have several different templates.
And we have a few. We don't carry a lot for English paper piecing.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's, you know, others out there that do.
I'm sorry, Robin.
No, don't be sorry. The block is finished.
And there's there's tutorials out there on YouTube.
Sue Daly.
Yeah, Sue Daly's has really.
So see, you could press that down and see how it's holding its shape.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then yeah.
You know, so like maybe, you know.
See, and then you can use this. Then you can use your paper again. And again and again.
Okay.
So, anyway. Does that work?
Yep.
So would you start in this corner or on an edge when you started stitching that to your background?
I probably would start here just because I could feel like it's more secure. I don't know.
Hides it more, maybe.
I can hide the start, right?
Right.
Because I would pull this up and put my knot underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And then start and just stitch that down. Kind of like that as a background though.
Looking nice.
So. But that's fun.
Yes.
You know, this is a nice in the car. I think when I worked on these, we were fishing.
Oh.
So I always, I like,
the memory of.
Yeah.
I think you answered most.
Did we answer most of the questions?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yes.
If not, we're happy to.
They're just some easy starter questions.
Right.
So, let me come in here and then we're ready to talk a little bit about this. So,
don't lose the clippies.
These, can you hold them? Mm-hmm. These are some like easy to start, I guess, English paper piecing
the dish towels are perfect.
Yeah.
To start with.
Yeah, just to do something little. Yeah, and that's fun.
And we do have these new, and I haven't tried these.
Yeah, I haven't tried these either.
You're supposed to iron them on, and then you stitch them, and they just stay in, and they're supposed to wash away.
Oh, when you...
That's what.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a new thing where you don't have to... You know, you do old school, you would do this by...
It's like the embroidery paper that I just... So you transfer the shape.
Yes, and to do your stitching and then it washes off. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the same thing.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So we have those.
Mm-hmm. And we're giving away something today. I was thinking, let's give away one of these.
Oh, perfect.
One of those? Okay, so that's our giveaway for them making a comment.
Yeah. And then this week's question is, have you done English paper piecing? And then what have helped you at first? And then share with...
Put mine in my things, and then I put them in my closet in my sewing room, and then they don't get seen, and then they get forgotten. Okay. And then when you asked us to do this, like, oh yeah, I know how to do that.
I have those projects. Because she's the one, we all bought the stuff at the but she is the one that went with it and excelled.
You know, well, there's like 99 of those little quatrefoils or quattro whatever I have to make, and I probably only have 10. So I got a long ways to go on that one.
Right? Make it your travel project.
I'm gonna have to. Exactly. Yeah. The next time we,
doctor's office.
Yeah. Take a trip somewhere.
We're gonna keep asking Shelly about that and say, hey, how's
that going? Oh dear, pressure's on.
Right? Does it work better for you?
No, to be fair, she does have a lot of projects.
I mean, you saw all the quilts she got done this couple last. So.
Yeah. So that's something I prefer, is to do that instead. Quilting, not handwork.
Right.
That's my downfall. So maybe I need to get stronger at that. So.
Anyway.
There's our heater's gonna turn on. Sorry, we didn't turn them off.
Stitch Night, if you have any question about English paper
come and bring it, because Stitch Night is for any kind of handwork. It's just we don't have the space for everybody to bring their machines, and I would love to see some projects, even if you just bring them in and show and tell. Like, we love to see what people are working on.
We get inspired.
Right? It makes us. It's a fun, friendly competition. Right? keeps us going.
Right. I guess that's it.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us for Table Talk. Bye.